Okay, we are live, so transition to stuff. Hello, my battalion of viewers, and welcome to today's stream. I'm the Knight of Arcane, and today we are going. And today we are going to be doing something a little new and different. I got this idea of what if, different characters fell to one of the chaos gods, chaos demons from Warhammer. So, for this first one, we are doing Wolverine fallen to Khorne, the god of war and blood and skulls. And it makes sense to be Wolverine because he is a very angry guy. There's a point in the future I want to also do some that are not exactly don't go exactly to a certain god. Like, this is an obvious one that would go to Khorne, but I would also like to at some point maybe he, due to like roles or whatever, I do a version that maybe fell to Tzeentch or maybe Slaanesh. So I'm going to do a fusion at times where like some would be like, "Yep, this choice makes sense." Others where it's like kind of just roll to see who gets what. And also, I'm going to be looking at the Marvel Rivals version, because engagement, because that's still popular. I'm also doing this because Thunderbolts comes out, so like other engagement stuff to do there. But yeah, let's start getting into it. On a different note, also, our plan is to. This is how I'm thinking of it for like future actual videos. I want to do something. Plan is to turn streams into like actual videos in a way that kind of kills two birds with one stone, if you think about it. So yeah, let's get started. You guys like, I need to get better at face shapes on a different note, because most of them are that anime pointed chin. Yeah. Maybe look at an image that has like the prof. Yeah, that's. See, down like this, then up like that, and then. Yeah, this is doesn't look half bad so far. Yeah, I'll have to re-look to see how some of the horns are, but I'm at least putting that down for now. What the? Yeah, just some like kind of demonic markings around the eyes, I'll say. In a way, yeah, they have fallen. Also, hello, Ben. That's need to pull up anger on at some point. I can put more teeth. Yeah. There are parts of I'm looking at. I don't like different like Angron fan art right now. Mainly, I'm seeing. And I see it on some of the models. I'm thinking also, but they have like whatever this thing down here. It makes me think of like the pureblood Sith from Star Wars: The Old Republic. That was a fun game. Would love to figure out a way to play that again. Now we gotta make sure his body is wide. And we gotta figure out how we want to do other parts of the pose. Let's. that's not gonna work. It was sort of inspired by kind of his normal-esque poses. I think I also need to bring that up a little bit. I should actually go back to looking at some of the Angron and Scarbrand poses. Especially since I'm probably going to do these demon legs. Hello, Nathan. I'm gonna assume you're at work and just, on your break watching. Or it's one of those jobs where it's slow enough that you can get away with watching stuff like this. And we'll have to do some muscles when we get to that, but we're at this point fine. It's this arm I need to figure out a better thing for. I mean, I guess if you're like talking about me at work, like at work doing stuff, I am doing stuff. I get to hopefully do well. I'm also gotta pull up some Khorne demons. I definitely got. Probably need to also redo. Make the hand smaller. Because right now it looks like he has yaoi hands. And I don't think we want him to have yaoi hands. Let's see. Thinking, like, kind of giving them like, let's say I'm looking at one of Scarbrand's axes right now to help with the idea we have for making the claws a bit more unique. Go get onto the Wolverine page, and then we can get back to looking. Hello, Thunder, and hello. I guess I already said Ben. Ah, oh, that's cool. I also met her. I was at Fan Expo at the beginning of the year. I still need to try to make that video. But funny enough, I also not only showed her the MK design of Charlie, I gave her a copy of the MK design. While I also got a copy signed by her. Glad to know that she still loved it. Yeah. Find the Khorne symbol. Put there. I'm gonna put some of the to make I don't know Doctor Who really well, Ben. Like, I know, like, entry-level stuff. I know Daleks and Weeping Angel. That's about it. Let's see, about here looks like where sleeves kind of go. Okay, we gotta figure out ways to make the outfit a bit more chaos, but got at least the base idea. I'll just also grab some elements from those shows. Hello, Ark. I'm doing good. Also, I don't know who all of us has knowledge and likes Doctor Who. So you might want to ask those like Spider-Man ones to either or Nerd because he seems to like Doctor Who a lot, or to DMZ because he's British. Okay, Khorne symbol is about, looks like about, seems to be about this. Okay, I'll just make Khorne symbol. Yep, it goes about that. There's yep. Oh wait, there's yep, we'll have to find some other parts. And he will need like some sort of demonic. Let's do like a. We'll just put one big one in the middle and take some inspiration from the Scarbrand's design. Where has that? do a little bit of spiking on it. Let's see, we gotta find some more. How about we add a bit here? That looks. I'm seeing some of the demons with something like this. That's like metals. And the got also like I'm seeing some of these kind of like the. I should probably put some chains on. That would be like a good idea. I'll just do that on like a new layer. Anything else we might want to put? Wouldn't say half bad. As long as it's happening, that's all that really matters. Let's see, we got to pull back up. And that should probably be... Yeah, I can just try to figure it out afterwards. About that. Yeah. Okay, how do Wolverine mutton chops look? Figure out how I'm going to do these. And we'll do these little whatever these are. And then also horns. Probably do some lines on these also. As a technicality, Invisible Man could be done because he does. The Invisible Man does have like a design, especially if you talk about classic one where he does have a design that could be turned into a Spider-Man suit. I guess there is these shape stuff on the actual one. Here-ish. I have about chains. Do the, let's see, where are the chains again? It feels like clothing. I think those are too big for. Yep. Probably like that. Yep, it's a good way to help you at least figure out how you want the chains to go, and then you can just redraw them. Probably do that, at least for that one. Yeah, it looks, I think it's looking good. Yeah, I haven't watched Invincible either. It's one of the many things on my watch list. Yeah, I think like that. Yeah, thank you, Ark. Again, I don't know what I don't know Invincible either. I have not watched it, so I could not tell you. I have no idea who this character is. What the hell? 44 minutes, not bad. There is definitely a smarter way I could have done this. Oh well. So far, I think it's going to work pretty well. And it seems to be working pretty well. Okay. Work smarter, not harder on this. Um, yeah, some of these have definitely overlapped, so it's going to be a bit of a guesswork here and there. That makes sense, though. Have enough one broken. I'm hoping this. I mean, does well is one thing. It's more of a comes across well and is an idea I can actually more or less easily do with some of some other ideas, theories, and all that. Oh right. Wolverine claws. Okay, now we have to start. Technically should make them technically be longer. No, just fuse him with Beetlejuice. That would make more sense. Or Batman. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't actually need that layer up anymore, so I can. Let's see. That's not it. Yeah, we'll have to bring that back up, but Here. Here. And I should have kept it up for about 6 seconds. I might as well just delete that one. Clayton? Clayton. I have no idea who you are talking about. I'm just gonna put all these guys. I'm gonna put all the claws into one folder. $25 is like barely old, I feel. Barely an inconvenience. Gotcha. I'm still very, very, very behind on a lot of his stuff. Oh, right, that's why I still had this up, because there was... Yeah, I guess I will do the chains on this arm, because... it's a little bare if it isn't. Yeah, rip tech, rip tech, Technoblade. He seemed pretty cool. Does he need the tail? No, I don't think he needs the tail. Yeah, I think it's good. Go a little in the orange. Oh god, now I'm thinking about all the stuff I have to. Some of these. Oh, wait, nope, not that. Those still be in the skin. Okay, God, now we have to go and do all of these. No, good. I'll just need to do it on fix the part of the foot. Up, and there's a part up there. I think Jeff is very adorable. I do also plan to do a Jeff fall into chaos at some point. I mean, probably even multiple some points, but. There. Let's start with getting some of these areas that I'm just like gonna have just be completely black. Oh, that's his ear, so. Oh well. This finger. He is so adorable. Sharks are like a very scary, are pretty, a scary creature if you think about it. But at the same time, they're also have become like some of the most adorable, like, products and or characters. I'll just do it for these. I'll go with using a dark gray. redo the color of the horns, but start with just maybe make the hair a little darker. Help with it. Maybe at a different point in time, I'm planning to turn this recording into a video, so want to keep it as much on track as much as I can for editing purposes and stuff. And don't worry, hey Arc. Like certain streams, it's just they'll make it be easier to do like challenges while also doing it. But for this especially, just have a certain way need to try. Oh, great. Did I do that? Yeah, I did that on accident for doing it like that. Where did I do the shoulders? This one's the shoulder, so I'm gonna use it on this part of the blade. It's also then probably do it here, here, and at least do it on this one. The rest will be like using some bronzes. Well, at some point, I need to start imagining more original stuff. There is a lot of good suggestions that have been made, but I also need to try to expand out to possibly get some other stuff done. See about. It's usually. Let's see. Need a different color. A little too. No. Don't need that up anymore, so. And do another sort of. Like that should work. And pink for inside. there. Honestly, not bad. Yeah. I'll do an experiment with the jacket. Try red. But not bad. Like, you're trying to make a commission sheet, Arc? Is that what you're trying to do? Yeah, I can give you some advice. The only thing that I will point out, it might be a bit harder to get commissioned, especially if you're not as popular or requested, because of how how everything is going, especially in the US. But I can get you some. As like that might be a bit too much for starting commissions. And like I said, with how technically the economy is at the moment, and they might be people are less likely to try commissioning someone they're not as familiar with. Like, when I first started, I wasn't even I was like I think I was barely over 20 for a full shading. And this was like even pre-pandemic. No, you're not being stupid. You just have. It's just something to think about. Like, you could get lucky, but it is also hard even to get commissioned, even in general. Plus, one thing I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of scammers going around where they say, "Hey, I want to commission you. DM me." Those are scams. If they have to be the one that DMs you. And in, just in general for expectations, unless you actually have been having people ask about them, um, have like kind of lower expectations on how likely you'll be to get commissioned. Because, like, my first commission technically wasn't even planned to be a commission that would have gotten paid. I was I had offered a friend on Tumblr just to make some fan art for free because they were just talking about wanting to see something, and I offered to do it for free, but then they actually paid me for it. That's good. If people are asking, it means they think you have good art, which you do, and that they want to see certain characters or things done in your style. But yeah, since if but also understand that I think a lot of time, like some of the first people that are going to commission you aren't going to have a lot of money, so they'll probably also be asking. They'll probably be doing it. Won't be able to get pay those higher prices. Some of them might also be children, which you do also have to be careful on for other reasons. Something I didn't really think on back when starting, but over time have come to think that yeah, probably should be a little careful about. That it, I will say it's hard to tell sometimes. It is a hard thing to tell. I have definitely been. I've been asked, and they before I had any commissions open, so I can see why a little bit why you might be a little apprehensive if they are being genuine. be honest up front about what you are doing and what you can do, and they might surprise you and be able to commission you and actually want to commission you. I hope they do. I do need to get more serious on offering commissions, or at least getting my prices out there. I'm gonna add some of the. Because I don't want to forget. And I want to keep the color correct. I'm going to keep those. Yeah, but I will say also you should probably be thinking about different prices for what all for other parts also, like say a full body, like say 20 is for like you get a full body head to toe, but for full art, but like say full art of like a headshot would be like maybe $10, because you have to also think about the pricing for that. A good idea might be just go look up some artist commission prices, see what they do for different types, if it's headshots, chibi style, full body, and try to find what some of the people did for their others. Yeah. And I technically would say background should be its own different pricing. My commission sheets always have them be like a different price because it's a huge other different thing. Like, I don't charge them if it's just a gradient or just one color, but if it gets more artsy, that's when it starts adding on to it. So I would suggest, like, I have like on my technically pinned on both Twitter and Blue Sky. I have my prices currently pinned. And as like that could be an example, even though mine's since I've been doing it a bit more or been more out there, here it can still at least get you a good idea on how you want to price yourself. Yeah, you can send it. I won't probably show it till the end of the stream because just to make some parts of it a little easier on editing. We'll stick with the yellow so it still reads as. Oh, good. That's pretty good. That's a There's good shine and sheen and detail. I need to do more studies like this. It looks really good. Has a nice blend of realistic and painterly. I'll say that makes it look a little better like that. Looks a lot better than some of the stuff I've done that's supposed to be like that. It's the same. Yes, it is. So. Hey, using a reference is a good thing. I understand that there's a lot of there's definitely some things where they people try to make it seem like using a reference is a bad thing. Like using a reference is good and allowed. When it comes to like real objects or even like photographs, obviously you're usually probably at least better. You're definitely better off doing that. And as long as you're not like doing like an exact copy, especially when it's like using a reference, say for like fan art stuff, then you are good. How you'll get to learn. And I think we're done. I might do some stuff on the I might do some stuff off stream. You know what? Let's. I'm just gonna. That's not the one. Yeah, I think that'll work. Heels and shoes. Yeah, yeah, fair. Heels, shoes. Okay, now I'm going to say that it is done. That way we can also just we can then do that. Heels. Like Yeah, like the general foot, the heel of the foot. I can see that being hard also. Feet are in general hard, so yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna just. I'm gonna show off because like I think this is really good arc. I think a lot of like the coloring and the shading, little highlights here and little ones here and here, they look really good. I am very hungry now. I want a croissant. Granted, one with like either like some sort of chocolate or just nice cream in it. Yeah, yeah, like heels for like just the different type of like heels, like be it like stiletto or like wedges. Those can be hard also. But yeah, like then like the wood texture for like the table and all the other stuff. Yeah, this is really good. Like I can see a cafe having this on their like wall, like how Subway would have the food like the different stuff like bread or like tomatoes and stuff. I can see this on a wall. Honestly, I can also see this in like a museum. And this is also really good. Yeah, you got a nice detail with the shine thing and just like the peel itself. And the pie also looks really good. You're making me really hungry. Yeah, I'm very hungry. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is good arc. Honestly, you might maybe you should try to find way a good place to print these and like try like stuff like this at like Saturday markets. I feel the like the stuff like this you can probably sell at like Saturday markets. I fan art stuff might be harder, but like stuff like this, I can see people buying it because they want some nice art for their like rooms and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go for sure use the restroom and then decide if we want to at least start one of the next Marvel Rivals characters is being spawned into chaos. Probably at least getting some of like the sketching down. I will decide once I'm right back. And back. I also like cute things. Cute things are great. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time and we're just going to do some random sketching. Kind of non-serious. See what happens for just like a little bit before we head off. And I'm going to just... I'm going to do a Jeff... Try to do a Jeff sketch. Like land shark doggo stuff is like the is like kind of like the some of like the cutest stuff. I'm remembering like I saw like a bunch of comics that was like some sort of shark dog. I know it's on Instagram. It might be on some other platforms, but still, gotta. I gotta recheck to see how that was going. But we got that dog shark thing. We got Jeff the land shark. We got Dingo Doodles has Jawbone. Oh yeah, that. I think it's one of. I don't remember, or if this was. Yeah, I think this is one of the Monster Prom artists. They, I saw them do like some cool, like, characters that would be very creepy and like horror like, and made them very cute. I don't remember which artist it was though. but there's someone that has done like it's almost like Animal Crossing villagers, but like horror in a way, but it's still like very cute, and like that's honestly almost something I would want to try to do. On a different note, doesn't this sketch look like Dolphinmon? I gotta get Digimon Dolphinmon. Or just Dolphmon. Like I tried to make Jeff, but it looks more like this looks like Dolphmon, doesn't it? Like Dolphmon if it was bipedal. And I wasn't looking at Dolphmon. It just kind of looks like that. Okay, lemon. Like this. I kind of looks more like him. I want to make some. I want to do something, kind of very Sanrio or Chikawa like, with some, very cute characters, but also with like maybe kind of a little bit of like a horror twist or creep, or or just some creep factors to the design. Maybe something very almost monster related. Okay, that. Yeah, that makes more sense. And using the lemon as like the front of the to help with the front of the face. That makes more sense. I mean, it kind of worked making the lemon for the side, but lemon is like this. Do this, and it makes kind of like the he... And then a little bit up here. Yeah, that doesn't look so bad. I'll just... I'm gonna rearrange them so they're a little more closer. That way, if I do try to post it, it can just be that. I mean, yeah, this was pretty fun. But we got this to look really good. I could have added another set of eyes, maybe. Oh well. Remember, we can do more eyes on the other stuff. But I think right now it'll actually be a good time to end the stream. We got through 2 hours. We got our first Marvel Fall into Chaos done. And went pretty well. I am aiming pretty much, especially right now with how my schedule is, which is not having a job. Might change soon. But we're going to try to do more streams, both in general and art streams. So tomorrow we're going to continue with our next person that will draw to chaos. If anyone is, of course, able to, feel free. But the plan is also, like I said, to start doing the streams to work on art that will then be in video. So when I do the full video with the 4 Fall into Chaos, you can also see it then. But I hope you all enjoyed today's stream. And if you did, feel free to leave a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe to join our growing little Arcane town. I would say probably about the same time, give or take, depending on stuff. Assuming my schedule doesn't change, but, should be happening. And thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you all next time. Later.